Hi everyone, and welcome back. So as you've seen, I'm working with a beautiful tweed yarn in this video. I love tweed. It's such a classic fiber to work with. It's wonderful for the fall and winter. It just adds beautiful texture to whatever you're working on when you use yarn that has a tweed. And this has a bit of a twist to it because it's a multicolored tweed. So there's lots of different colors that make up those tweedy bits that are part of the fiber. And that just gives it a modern look, and I think it just looks so much more interesting. When I'm dyeing tweed yarn, I don't mess with it. I just keep it simple and I stick to doing solid, semi-solid, or tonal colors because I don't want to detract from those beautiful little colorful fibers that are in there. So I do have a video that shows in detail how I dye solid colors. So I'll leave a little link in the description if you want to check out that video. So I'm not going to really explain what I'm doing here, but it's very, very simple. And it's quite self-explanatory. You're going to see the steps that I take.
Saw you paint a picture of your face that wasn't even close to mine. I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's so hard to move on. You haven't changed, you stayed the same. But if you did, I'd still love you anyway. I'd give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you I promised I would. Even though you wouldn't do the same. Had this conversation more than 10 times. After 9, I still wish you were mine. Haven't ate in 7 days, 'cause I've been up till 6 a.m. 5 songs all just for you. 3 of them I think they're listening to. Give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you wouldn't do the same. Give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you wouldn't do the same. I'd do anything you want me to. 'Cause I love you.
As I mentioned, I do have an in-depth video on how I dye solid or tonal colors, but here I'm just going to give you a quick recap. So I always start by adding the dye to the water. This is hot water, and there's no citric acid, so there's no agent in here that's going to help the dye to adhere to the fiber. I like the dye to just be able to flow freely around the yarn at first so that I can get more of a even coverage. I found for myself that that is what works best. Layering the color in stages, I get the best results, but you can experiment and find what works good for you. So now it's time to add the acid. So you can see that I'm doing that here. So I have an initial kind of like a base color down. I've applied the acid and let that absorb a bit, and then I add another layer of the color. And again, I just find that I get the best results when I do this kind of glazing or layering effect. And I'm just moving the yarn around, and basically the color is done. I'm just going to put it into the oven to heat set for a couple of hours, and that's it. Very, very simple. So this is about a week later from when I first was dyeing the yarn. And I think in videos it's hard to, or you can get a false idea of how much time is involved in hand dyeing yarn. It may seem to go faster than what is actual. So I do my dyeing in stages, and it is a slow process. Between preparing the yarn to get it ready for dyeing, pre-soaking it, scouring it, or making sure that there's no oil on it that will interfere with the dyeing process, you know, that all takes time to do. I like to put the yarn in the pans the night before so that the day that I am going to dye the yarn, that's at least one step or a couple of hours, looked after, because it does take some time for me to get the yarn prepared, soaked, and ready. So once the dyeing is done, you know, that depending on how much yarn I have, that could take a couple of days just to dye the yarn. Then I have to wash it, and then I have to dry it. So depending on what type of fiber it is, you know, that could take up to a week or a little bit more to thoroughly make sure that that yarn is dry. So it really does take time. You know, this is a hand dyed, this is a handmade product, so there's no rushing it. Soon you'll see all of the colors that I dyed, but what I'm working on right here is the colors that I used in my latest design. And I wanted something that would really show off the beauty of tweed yarn. And I think the design I came up with really, I think it really did just that. When I think of tweed yarn, I think of Scotland for some reason. I don't know why, but that was the inspiration behind the design. And you can see just how beautiful those flecks of multicolored tweedy fibers that are mixed in there. They really pop and really make this yarn look unique and modern, but traditional and classic at the same time. And here is the design that I came up with, and I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I had a few challenges along the way, but the end result, I couldn't be happier. So if you'd like me to do a video on this pattern, then leave a comment, let me know, and I would be happy to do that for you. Thank you so much for watching my video. I know that everyone is busy, and so I really do appreciate the time that you set aside to support my channel, watch my videos, and to comment. It really does encourage me when I read your lovely comments, so please keep those coming. I know I say that in every video, but I really do love reading your comments and the positive feedback. So again, I wanted to say thank you so much. I appreciate your comments, and please keep them coming. If you like what you saw, then please like or subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any more content that I put out. And I look forward to putting out more videos for you. I really enjoy making them. So until next time, bye.